Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that came out October 19th, 2018 on ABC News. From Barbecue Becky to Golf Cart Gail. List of unnecessary 911 calls made on Blacks continue to grow. And it will continue to grow until one of us start doing it. When we start doing it, all of a sudden it'll be wrong and they'll have to put a stop to it. But as long as it's not us calling the police on them, then all is good, ladies and gentlemen. It's all good. Numerous episodes have been reported across the nation this year in which white people have called 911 to report Black people seemingly going about their normal lives. Many of the incidents have been recorded on cell phone videos and have exploded on social media and gone viral. Most of the callers have garnered nicknames pertaining to the routine activity of African Americans they found suspicious enough to call authorities, including barbecuing in a park, playing golf, entering an apartment building where they live, and even napping in a common area of a college dorm. Well, that's because they're nosy and won't mind their own business. If they were minding their own business, none of this stuff would be happening. From Coupon Carl to Corner Store Caroline, here is the list of incidents that have made headlines in 2018. Now, I looked at the list. It's still missing a few that really should be on here, but let's go through the ones they do have. Occupying a table at Starbucks. On April 12th, Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson were arrested at a Starbucks, and this was over in Philly, after a manager called 911 to say they were occupying a table without buying anything and refusing to leave. Now, if you remember, there were white people in there using laptops, and they didn't go in there and buy anything either. They were just using the internet. And that all came out too. So you can't even say, well, they should have bought something. Well, there were other people in there that didn't buy anything. And no police was called. Okay. The men said they were waiting to meet a business associate when police were called on them about 3 minutes after they sat down. Starbucks officials fired the manager, and they said this manager had a history of calling the police on Black people, and apologized to Nelson and Robinson. The company also closed all 8,000 of its stores for a single day in May to give employees racial bias training. And if you remember, not long after this incident happened, they had another incident, I believe it was in California, where a Black man went into Starbucks, asked to get the bathroom key, and he was denied. And then a white guy came in shortly after him, asked for the bathroom key, and they gave it to him. Okay, and he didn't buy anything either. Oh boy. Browsing for prom clothes. 3 young men, Daron Taylor, Maki Lee, and Eric Rogers, were shopping for prom outfits at Nordstrom Rack in St. Louis when they were wrongly accused of shoplifting and had the police called on them, even though they had made purchases. Boy, do I remember this one. Luckily, the police let us explain our story, and they understood that it was totally a misunderstanding and let us go, Lee told ABC News at the time. Greavy Thomas, president of Nordstrom Rack, met with the 3 young men and their parents and apologized to them. You know, when you do those kind of stuff, your apology don't add up to a hill of beans. You know why they like to apologize, ladies and gentlemen? Because it doesn't cost them nothing. The apology is free. That's what they love about apologies, because it really doesn't cost them a thing. It's not a consequence. An apology is not a consequence. They walk away like nothing ever happened. So, don't stop taking these cheapened apologies. They're only doing it because it's free. They don't have to give up anything with an apology. In May, Brian Spurlock said he was racially profiled and needlessly embarrassed when police confronted him at a Hobby Lobby store in Trussville, Alabama, where he returned merchandise. White employees called 911 because they said he vaguely resembled a suspect in a check cashing scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how many wrongly accused people are sitting in prison in America because white people identified the wrong person? It happens all the time. I mean, at this point, white people should not be allowed to identify anyone black. Seriously, they should not be allowed to do it. They have made so many mistakes over the years identifying the wrong person. They should not even be allowed to identify us. The Birmingham man was with his girlfriend and her children when the incident occurred at the National Arts and Craft retailer. These folks look at me like, oh, he stole something. Oh, he did something wrong. Y'all embarrassed me, and that hurt, Spurlock said of the incident in an interview with ABC affiliate station WBMA TV in Birmingham. They made me feel like I don't need to go in no stores no more because I look like somebody and the police might arrest me. Golfing. And boy, do we remember this golfing incident. A golf course manager at a Pennsylvania golf course who was allegedly upset with a group of black female golfers told a 911 dispatcher that one of the women wasn't wielding weapons other than her mouth. Steve Cronister, a manager at the Granville Golf Course in Dover Township, made the comment on April 21st when he called 911 to complain that the women were playing golf too slow. But I thought golf was a slow game. I thought it was a slow game. Oh well, disobeying course rules and holding other drafters up. Cronister was apparently referring to Sandra Thompson, an attorney and president of the York County NAACP. We weren't threatening or being argumentative, Thompson told ABC News at the time. But what he was most threatened by was the fact that I was willing to speak up. Barbecuing in a park in April. Jennifer Schucht, a white woman, called the police on a group of black people who were legally barbecuing in a public park in Oakland, California. She was branded Barbecue Becky, and her image was photoshopped into memes across the internet. It's illegal to have a charcoal grill in the park here, Schultz is heard telling the group barbecuing as she was on her cell phone calling the police. Just another case of mind your fucking business. Moving on. Napping. In May, Yale University graduate student Lolaide Sinyambola sparked outrage about racial profiling after she posted a video of her extended interaction with campus police officers and the white student who called them. Sinyambola had the police called on her after the white student saw her napping in the dormitory's common area at the New Haven, Connecticut campus. And they said this again, this was a white student that was notorious for calling the cops on black people. In fact, it was A black man that came forward and said he was a student there too, said the same woman called the cops on him after he was just asking for directions. Like I said, when they call the police on you, ladies and gentlemen, they have a history of doing this. I deserve to be here. I pay tuition like everyone else in Yambola. A 34-year-old graduate student in African Studies said after police asked her for identification and even followed her to her dorm room to watch her unlock the door. Redeeming coupons in July. CVS Health Corp apologized to an African American woman after a manager of one of its Chicago stores, who was also president of the Illinois Log Cabin Republican chapter, wrongly accused her of using a counterfeit coupon and called the police on her. 2 employees at the CVS were fired after the customer Camilla Hudson, 53, posted a cell phone video on Facebook of the store manager, Maury Matson, calling 911 on her and accusing her of using a phony coupon. The store chain also issued an apology to Hudson. Matson was dubbed Coupon Carl on social media after Hudson's video went viral. Selling bottled water. In July, a white San Francisco woman called the police on an 8-year-old girl for selling bottled water without a permit outside an apartment building. The story went viral after Erin Austin filmed the exchange with her neighbor, identified as Allison Ethel, because she feared the situation might be racially motivated. Austin's daughter, Jordan, who was selling the bottled water, is biracial. Calling the police on any person of color these days is an issue. They come, they shoot first, and they ask questions later, Austin told Good Morning America. Knowing that and knowing everything that's going on in the media, why would you call the police on a child of color? The video received thousands of comments and shares on social media as users accused the woman dubbed as Permit Patty of racism. Ethel defended making the call and said she had nothing against the girl. It was all the mother and just about being quiet, she said. I had been putting up with this for hours and I just snapped. Okay. Still could have been a better way of handling it. Amu Kanote, a student at Smith College in Massachusetts, working as a teaching assistant and resident advisor, was eating lunch in a dorm common area on July 31st when an officer with the Northampton Police Department approached her. A white college employee called police on who she believed looked out of place, according to a statement from the school. What, black is out of place? My God. I remember this story. I did nothing wrong. I wasn't making any noise or bothering anybody. All I did was be black. Kanote wrote on Facebook, it's outrageous that some people question my being at Smith College and my existence overall as a woman of color. And I remember that. Babysitting. On October 7th, Corey Lewis was babysitting 2 white children ages 6 and 10 when an unidentified white woman approached them in a Walmart parking lot in a suburb of Atlanta. She pulled up to my vehicle and asked the kids were all right. Asked if the kids were all right. Lewis told ABC, Good Morning America. I responded with, why wouldn't they be? I wouldn't have spoke to her, but I guess that's me. Lewis said the woman followed him in the children home and then called 911. The police responded, questioned Lewis, and called the parents of the children to verify he was their babysitter. Again, not minding your business, entering his apartment. On October 13th, De'Arion Tolles posted a video of his Facebook page of a white woman blocking him from entering the St. Louis apartment building where he is a resident. The woman, identified as Hillary Muller, can be seen standing in the doorway asking what unit Tolles lived in and to see his key fob. First of all, she had that door opened talking to him. And you saw how easy it was for him to push through and get in the building past her. So how safe was she really keeping the building? Seriously, how safe was she keeping it, holding a door open, talking to a stranger? And they still got in anyway. She didn't keep that building safe. She was just being nosy. She followed him to his door and watched him enter his unit. Tolles told ABC News that 30 minutes later, police showed up because Mueller had called 911. Sergeant Keith Barnett of the St. Louis Metro Police Department confirmed a 911 call was made, but that no report was written. Tolles' video was viewed more than 5 million times and won Mueller a moniker, Apartment Patty. Mueller was also fired from her job as a property manager. Mueller told KTVI-TV, a Fox affiliate in St. Louis, that her only intent was to follow the directions I had been given by our condo association board members repeatedly, and that is to never allow access to any individual that you don't know. But he still got in. He still got in. Woo, boy, these people are deranged. Going to a bodega. All right, so on October 10th, a 9-year-old New York City boy, Jeremiah Harvey, was wrongly accused of groping a nasty, flat-ass white woman in a corner store in Brooklyn. The woman, Teresa Klein, called the police and claimed the boy grabbed her non-existing ass. However, surveillance video from the store showed that Jeremiah's backpack brushed Klein's backside. When Klein was shown the video, she apologized. She was ridiculed on social media and nicknamed Corner Store Caroline. During a community meeting days after the ordeal, Jeremiah delivered a simple message. Friendship is really the key. The boy rejected Klein's apology, which I'm glad he did. You know, no matter what his mother followed up and made him reverse, that rejection of Klein's apology is still the first thing he did. And that's what he wanted to do until he was influenced to do otherwise. Being a soccer dad, Gerald Jones claimed he was yelling instructions at his 13-year-old son during a youth soccer game in Ponte Vedra, Florida, when a white soccer official scolded him and then called sheriff's deputies on him even after he volunteered to leave the game. 2 St. John County sheriff deputies responded to Field Marshal's 911 after she told dispatch she felt threatened by Jones. Well, maybe if you leave people alone and mind your own business, you won't feel threatened. So if you do feel threatened, who did that to you? You did that to yourself. Nobody's responsible for you feeling threatened. That's your problem. Okay. A claim other parents who witnessed the incident disputed. The deputies let Jones go, but he has since demanded an apology from the field marshal, who has not been identified. A parent, Ginger Williams, told a cell phone video of deputies questioning Jones and the field marshal and posted it on Facebook under the headline, "Soccer While Black." She referred to the field marshal as Golf Cart Gail because she was riding a golf cart. But, we know there's more that were missed. They didn't talk about the guy that was listening to a yoga CD in his car, and some white woman came up and started bothering him and called 911. I mean, there's way more incidents than what's on here, ladies and gentlemen. We remember the poolside incidents. In fact, there were a few poolside incidents that happened. And it was another one where a woman had her biracial child outside of an apartment building, and her neighbor came out and started bothering her. So there's more incidents that were missed, but they did get some of the ones that made big headlines here. But like I said, America, you don't live up to your name, United States. Socially, you get an F, because it has been too long, these divisions socially in this country, and they never been resolved, and nobody's interested in resolving it. But I look at it this way: even if you don't want to resolve your social issues, try minding your own business. None of this would happen if people would just mind their own damn business when no crime is being committed. It's hard for me to sit around and believe Black people are the most violent when I see white people just willy-nilly making these phone calls when nothing is going on. No crime is being committed. No one is really being unruly. They are the ones making the phone calls. They're really the unruly ones when you watch these videos. And in all honesty, I'm glad these videos are going viral, because one thing it is doing, Black community, it is vindicating us. They have went around this globe telling everybody we are the problem in America. But now it is very plain and clear who the real problems are coming from. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.